Hey Toby, what are we doing in today's video?
Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you 5 12-bar blues chord progressions that you need to know.
Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar and I'm with special guest eBassGuitar coach Toby Newcombe. Today we're covering these 5 really important 12-bar blues progressions that you need to know. Why are they so important, Toby?
Hi everyone, right, the 12-bar blues. So it has been around since the early 1900s, comes from Clarksdale, Mississippi, and it is the foundation of rock and roll music, of R&B music, of pop music, of rock music. It really is the structure on which all modern music is based upon. 12-bar blueses are used all the time in jam sessions with other musicians. It's so important to know different types of chord progressions so you can just get on and play straight away. So, not all 12-bar blues chord progressions are the same. There are various different standard ones that we need to know as bass players, so when we are playing them with other people in bands, we're not left behind.
So let's crack on. Just before we get going, I want you to know there's a completely free PDF that comes with this lesson, which will show you all of the 12-bar blues progressions written out using standard notation, tablature, and chord symbols. We'll put a link in the description below.
So the 12-bar blues is called the 12-bar blues because, surprise, surprise, it has 12 bars in it. We are going to start by looking at the standard 12-bar blues chord progression. We're going to do this in the key of C. It uses 3 chords, C, F, and G. For the purposes of this video, I'm only going to be using root notes, and I'm only going to be using quarter notes and eighth notes. No funny fills, no funny bass lines or anything, because we are just getting used to the different structures. So let me play the first chord progression, the standard 12-bar blues progression, and then we'll discuss it afterwards.
So Toby, that's really simple, really cool, and you've told us that there are 3 chords in it. How are they constructed to form the progression?
So the chords that we're using are C, the 1 chord, F, the 4 chord, and G, the 5 chord. Why are they called 1, 4, and 5? It's to do with the positions they are in the C major scale. So C is 1, and then we get C, D, E, F, that's 4, and G is 5. So whenever you hear a 1, 4, 5 chord progression in the key of C, we know we're going to be playing C, F, and G. A standard 12-bar blues has the first 4 bars on the 1 chord, on C. The next 2 bars are the 4 chord, F, and then going back to the 1 chord, C. The next bar is G, the 5 chord, going back to F, the 4 chord, and going to C, the 1 chord, and the 12th bar is the G, the 5 chord, also known as the turnaround chord. That then loops round and round and round. Guitarists love this progression because they get 12 bars to solo in. Bass players, not so much because it's a long time watching guitarists do massive solos.
So we've got the outline of the progression. 4 bars on C, 2 bars on F, 2 bars on C again, a bar of G, a bar of F, a bar of C, and then a bar of G. We've completed the sequence. Now, what happens next? What is the first alteration or change that you need to know?
The very first alteration that we need to know is something called a quick change. It's actually a very small change in this sequence, but it can make all the difference when we're playing live. Instead of having 4 bars of C at the beginning, we do 1 bar of C, 1 bar of F, and then 2 bars of C, and it continues exactly the same. There's only 1 bar that is different to a quick change. Now, it's important to know, because when you're playing with other people, if half of you think you're going to play a quick change and the other half think you're just playing a standard 12-bar blues, then there's going to be a few people going to that F chord on the second bar, whereas others will not. So whenever we're playing a 12-bar blues with other people, the important question, are we playing a quick change or a standard?
Some people will call this a quick 4 change as well. So what I'd love to do now is let Toby demonstrate this. Listen out for that quick 4 change on bar 2. So the amazing thing about what you played there, Toby, is you are 100% fulfilling the role of a bass player in that performance there. Great thing about playing bass is it can be as simple or as complex as you like. So let's move on to progression 3. What alterations do we make to this?
Well, the next progression is called the Johnny B. Goode progression because it's based on the song Johnny B. Goode by Chuck Berry, also made famous in the film Back to the Future. This still has a 12-bar structure, but it's slightly different and slightly quicker. So this one, it starts with, just like a standard 12-bar blues, we do 4 bars of C, going to 2 bars of F, and 2 bars of C. Here's where it changes. After that, we get 2 bars of G, and then 2 bars of C. It's actually a slightly simpler chord progression than a standard, but it's important to know because if you are playing Johnny B. Goode with other musicians, we have to know this slight different variation on the 12-bar blues.
Absolutely, that's almost simpler in many respects, but it's important to know. So let's hear it in action.
Absolutely. I'm going to be playing 8th notes for this one in the rock and roll style.
Now, the important thing I want you to realize here, it does not matter what octave you play the notes in. Getting the chord changes right is the most important thing. And the great thing that you saw Toby doing there was he was varying the octaves, and that's something totally that you can do. So guys, just before we get on with the rest of the lesson, I've got a quick favor to ask you. If you're enjoying this, you're learning stuff, you're getting value from it, and most importantly, you're not subscribed to the eBassGuitar YouTube channel, can you hit the red subscribe button, which is somewhere around this video? Now, the reason for this is the more subscribers we get to the eBassGuitar YouTube channel, and we are firmly on a trajectory that's growing at the moment, the more great free educational bass content we can put out, and the more guests we can get in like Toby. And so, the more subscribers we get, the more we can keep growing the channel. And also, when you subscribe to the channel, you'll be the first to know when a new lesson goes live. So it's a win-win for absolutely everybody. So please hit that red subscribe button. So let's move on to chord progression number 4, Toby. What have you got for us?
Well, chord progression number 4, I've called the Crossroads chord progression because it's used in John Mayer's version of Crossroads. So this one has a quick change, but the interesting thing about it is it doesn't go to G at all throughout the chord progression. It's a really interesting one. So we start with C, we do 1 bar of F, followed by 2 bars of C, followed by 2 bars of F and 2 bars of C, just like a quick change chord progression. But here's where it changes. Instead of going to G, we're going to go to A, an A minor, followed by an F, followed by 2 bars of C at the end. So it doesn't even do that turnaround G at the end. It's a very cool, very rocky chord progression and a really good way to spice up your 12-bar blues.
So rather than using chord 5, we are substituting in chord 6. Now I'm really excited to hear this. Let's hear it. That is absolutely incredible what one simple little tiny chord change can do to the whole feel of the sequence.
Absolutely, it adds a very cool bluesy, jazzy element and certainly stands out quite a lot compared to regular 12-bar blueses.
So chord progression number 5, Toby, what have you got for us?
So for chord progression number 5, I've got a jazzy 12-bar blues. Now this one is another variation of a quick change 12-bar blues, includes a few more chords and is a very, very cool type of 12-bar blues that you can be trying. So it starts in a normal quick change. We're going to get our bar of C, bar of F, 2 bars of C, going to 2 bars of F, and then we're going to get 1 bar of C, going to 1 bar of A minor. Then, here's where the differences come. We're going to go to D minor and then G. And then for the last 2 bars, we're going to split them up. So we're going to get 2 beats of C, 2 beats of A minor, 2 beats of D minor, and 2 beats of G. Then it loops all the way around again.
So the interesting thing in here is there are 2 really important jazz concepts which are well worth knowing. The first is at bar 9, that D minor, G and the C. That creates a very common chord sequence, which is the backbone of jazz, the 2-5-1 chord sequence. And then in the last 2 bars, which is chord 1, chord 6, chord 2, chord 5, that is a 1-6-2-5, C, A minor, D minor, G chord sequence, which is called a turnaround, which is really important to know. Now, the most important thing is to internalize how this sounds. So I'd love Toby to demonstrate this and show us what he's going to play.
Absolutely. So one thing that I'm not going to do when playing this is I'm not going to be doing any crazy walking jazz bass lines or anything like that. I'm going to be playing root notes and I'm going to be playing quarter notes so you can really see and internalize where these chord progressions are. So guys, don't forget to grab the PDF that's accompanying this video. There's a link in the description below.
So that's it for today, guys. Thank you to my special guest, Toby Newcombe. Toby is one of our Bass Lab Plus coaches over at eBassGuitar.com. He regularly hosts our live masterclasses and is a brilliant brain to learn from. So if you want to improve your bass guitar playing, if you're starting your bass guitar journey right at the beginning, or you're a much more experienced bass player and want to take your bass playing to that advanced level, please do head on over to eBassGuitar and check out the Bass Lab Plus. And as a special treat for you, I'm going to give you 14 days in the membership completely free so you can take it for a test drive. I'll put that cheeky link for the free 14 days in the description below. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com, and thank you to Toby.
Thank you for having me, James.
It's a real pleasure, real treat having you here, and we will catch you next time.